Hey everyone, it's Maureen. I wanted to post sort of a final look here at the Dastardly doll project. We happen to have Dorothy here. I have her partially undressed as far as the accessories go, just to kind of show you how her outfit works here. So this is the English fitted gown that I ended up redoing the edging on and took off all of the ribbon trim and replaced it with this gorgeous lace. And I also had to modify the skirt and bodice and was able to take the scraps from that and make these wonderful sleeves, which were much needed to go with the portrait of Elizabeth Leighton from 1572. And of course we have this wonderful undergirdle made of the same lining material as the fitted jacket. I only have it one hook and eye here at this point in time. Any of her ruffs and collars are going to be detachable. It's going to be much easier to make her look like she has more clothes, being able to change out ruffs, which they were normally tacked on to the underclothing and could be changed out for cleaning purposes. But I also wanted to show you the details of the face here a little bit. These are eyelashes up and bottom, top and bottom there. And I also added a little bit of hair to the eyebrows as well, added on with glue to give that texture. And this is the bun cover that I talk about, which I have silk puffs on the edge, and I'm using really long pins to hold it into the hair. There's the slashes with the wool underneath. It's of course made of the same material as the girdle and the lining of the outer gown. So everything really matches nicely. I have the organza as a decoration for the hair when she's not wearing a hat. But I also have the very nifty tall hat, which my cats unfortunately enjoy a bit too much. And I've had to sort of put it on a shelf to keep it away from their reach. Since she's on the floor here, I mean, she's 3 feet tall, so she sort of takes up her own amount of space. And with that, I mean, I'm going to come up with a few accessories here for her. And actually, that's what I'm going to show you right here. You just bear with me. Have a nice brush for the clothing, but also to deal with wispy hairs since her hair is straight. But this I was using as a belt. It happens to also be made of silk. This trim will be added on to the edge of the girdle here to bring out the green, because I'm using sort of red and green as coordinating colors to then play off of one another to keep those colors going. Her eyes are also green, so it sort of matches in a way. I have this wonderful braid, and I haven't had a good chance to use it. And since I'm using the belt as an accessory, this allows me to match to that, and then also to the lining of the bun cover. I do also plan on adding some green to the top edge of the hat too here. So this might change just a little bit too. Let me set these over off to the side. And then you may have seen this organza sort of handkerchief with this very nice lace edge to it. Now this is not lace that I made, this is lace that I had acquired over the years. But some of the commercially available laces, you are able to really find some that are very close in design historically, not necessarily in technique though. So I have a set of a linen ruff and collar and ruffs that need to be ironed out yet, but I'm putting them in this box for storage sake. what's going on is the cats, of course, not only do they enjoy the hat, but they enjoy all the other fabric accessories that go with Dorothy. So unfortunately, I've kind of made her a little accessories box here right next to her, but I'm probably also going to have to get like a hat box and probably something to store her clothes when she has a change of clothes, because the next outfit is being created. So this is what I have been working on over the holiday. This happens to be just a black worked cotton fabric that I happen to already have. And I wore this for a few years. You might recognize the bottom here. I wore this for a few years as my own chatelaine, but it happens to be just the right height here for Ms. Dorothy. So I have a pair of stork scissors. These are really dull and I don't use them, so I don't mind if she has them. Plus, with them being dull, if someone should decide to come over and hug my friend here, my sewing assistant, they won't get poked. But my goal here is I'm going to basically create a needle book and a few other things. I'm going to try to get brass accessories as possible. I found a doll size thimble, and I'll make a little thimble case that we put on one of these arms. But I basically beaded it front and back with the pearl. And the reason that I did this is I had created this earlier, and this already had the pearl and the glass beads on it to start with. It looks so nice. It gives a nice subtle touch for the pocket that I really wanted them to coordinate, and they do. They look really good together. Now, this has a little loop at the top that when I have the pocket, we could wear that on the outside and put this through the loop if we want the pocket exposed. You could certainly wear the pocket underneath and wear this on a belt. It would be nice to wear them if they were seen. Some of the other accessories that I've been able to locate that are the right size for Dorothy, and some of these are ones that I made a while ago and ended up not being the right size for me. Now this happens to be one that I had purchased, and it's just not the right size for the amount of hair that I have. Although, in comparison, it's about the right size for Dorothy. So if I took this off, I could easily put this bun cover with all those beads on top. And with it being gold and white with pearls, it'll be very simple to match with any of the other outfits that I make for her. And then these are what you may have seen in pictures, which I have to work on these and put closures on the inside. That's actually why they're in the box right now. But I have to make closures, and I also have to make an edge to go on these so they can be set on the edge of this, or pulling out this lining, I can pin it easier to that. Hello, Star. Someone's a little stuffy today, so we may get a little sneezes. She has an appointment coming up soon to address that with the vet. But that's what I have for now. And I'm going to have to grab it from one of my other work bags, but I have a black worked coif that turned out way too small for me, but will definitely be right for her. So bear with me, it'll be just a few moments. Hello, I'm back. Okay, so this is the black worked coif that I was telling you about. I included a little bit of gold work on it when I made it, and it turned out very pretty. My stitches could have been a little bit better on this. But it was my first time really doing an embroidery of some size like this. But it, here we go. It scrunches up here, and then you tie it up and over the top, which kind of will create a rounded shape on the back of her head. But the opening is definitely just the right size. And I can position this point right here. So I really could cover most of her head with this. I can probably cover over the other hat here. Now you can kind of see what I mean. I actually tied this right over the bun cover, believe it or not, and it actually creates this nice level of fullness, so I may do this in the future. Now, when you have the point in the back and it's standing up like this, you can pin it forward to create a more rounded shape like that. I don't think I have any straight pins nearby for me to be able to do that right now, but doesn't it just fit her so well? And as I had said, this goes sort of right here. I could even pin that down a little bit if I wanted to. But I mean, I made this for me. It was far too small, but it fits her. And to be honest with you, it probably fit like a 6 to 8 year old child or so, respectively. Now her head's kind of small, granted, but in the same right, that of course depends on the child, the size of their head, things of this nature. But you get a really good idea of how the coif is meant to fit. But with that, and then doing a black fitted jacket, and then a wool kirtle, and then an embroidered jacket, not the exact same pattern as this, but another rounded Elizabethan pattern with a black wool pocket and the chatelaine with it is just going to look phenomenal. So that's the next outfit that I am creating for Dorothy. And these are patterns, even though they are half scale, they are something that I wanted to put together to better figure out the pattern, do it in half size, and then I'm able to take that half scale and figure out the pattern better for myself because I've at least worked with it once. So that's really what this is all about. This is about practice and practicing sewing patterns, but only getting to use fabric that's with a half scale is a lot more affordable practicing with the fabric this way than it would be practicing full-size clothing for myself. But eventually, full-size clothing will be made, and my goal with all this is to basically be a better seamstress. Try a few things out. Dorothy ends up getting some pretty awesome clothes from it, so it furthers my fashion doll research as well, in addition to being able to then make wonderful clothes for myself too. So a win-win-win. But I really appreciate everyone taking interest in my channel. If you like what you see, feel free to subscribe. I try to upload about every 2 weeks. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And I'll be talking to you pretty soon, more than likely in the new year at some point. And if I have new clothes for Dorothy, we'll certainly give them a shot, and I'll let you all see. Until next time, bye.